The Miami Heat are facing the Los Angeles Lakers in the NBA Finals, ladies and gents. I got Nick Bam Boylan, Joe Money McCarr. Heat fans are hype. I'm hype. We're all hype here. Let's get stuck into it. Nick Bam Boylan, your boy stepped up. The Miami Heat stepped up. They got it done.
Bam by name and Bam by nature. Adebayo was really the force right from the jump for the Heat in getting that big win. Really aggressive early. That was something that we talked about in the previous game, that his energy levels just weren't really what was needed for the Heat to knock over Boston, and they were at that level tonight. Had a career scoring night with 32 points on 11 of 15 shooting, had 14 boards, 5 assists. Just makes such a difference for Miami's tempo and spacing and just letting other players get involved. But also, Bam knows when to take over the game and get to the line. That mid-range jump shot just keeps looking better every game. He's got so many ways that he could hurt Boston, and he really showed that tonight. Both teams got really trigger happy from downtown to start the game until Miami started hitting theirs. Then Boston started hitting theirs, and that was kind of the story of the game. Miami started 56% from the field in the first half, and they kept that mark to finish the game. 13 of 27 from deep for 48% shooting on three-pointers. It was massive for Miami to get back into the game. Jimmy Butler started pretty well also. Was aggressive, just like Bam, really set the tempo early for the Heat. Not his best shooting night by any means, but still had a key 22 points and 8 assists. And then when other guys were struggling, like Jay Crowder, after he finally hit a three, but then regressed to keep missing his threes again. Goran Dragic also struggled tonight with 13 points. We got big minutes, from a guy who's been to the finals before. He knows what it's all about. Andre Iguodala. Perfect shooting night for Iggy. 15 points on 5 of 5 shooting and 4 of 4 from deep. When he knocks down his open threes, it's just a massive X factor. It's something that really can get a team hyped up. We saw a couple of gift-worthy celebrations for Myers Leonard there. Everything great every board. Iguodala doing what Iguodala does. Just such a crucial veteran presence, and really, that's why they traded for him. And then we saw that Boston came back into it really, really hard. Their defense started to get going. I know Joe will probably talk about the insertion of Grant Williams into that lineup was really key for the Celtics. They started to get out in transition and run, but Miami really just got their shots going again late. We talked about that three-point shooting mark, and it was their young guys who got it going late for them. Tyler Hero had 14 points in the fourth quarter. He finished with 19 points. But also, when he was struggling early with his shooting, he still managed to affect the game with his positive playmaking and rebounding. 7 assists and 5 boards for the rookie on the night. And Duncan Robinson also had some big threes late. He finished with 15 points with 5 threes. And Miami shooting was just really the difference.
Bang, 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 bang. Make or miss league, as they say. Joe, we had Nick touching on Grant Williams a little bit. Is he next year's MVP?
Well, I don't know if I go that far, but Grant Williams definitely had a major impact on this game. You saw in the fourth quarter, I think they were plus 12 when he was in the game, and it wasn't even a long stretch that he was in. And basically, it's just the little things that he does, controlling the pace. He's a little bit undersized for a big man, but, he could stretch the floor. He can play defense. He can get his team involved. So he does a little bit of everything. And I believe it was Mark Jackson, not Van Gundy, who said this. But he kind of plays that same role that P.J. Tucker plays for the Rockets, in kind of a lesser extent. But he kind of plays that same role as the glue guy. And in this case, you got to give a lot of credit to Grant Williams. Not a lot of playoff experience, but he came up big. And in addition to that, the Celtics just struggled to guard Bam Adebayo. We saw in the fourth quarter, Bam was just going full point center, as we know he is. Scoring in the mid-range, which has really improved for him. Scoring in the paint, driving the ball inside, which his handles for a big man are unbelievable. He just seemed to be doing it all. And Boston, when they put Tyson, just didn't seem to have an answer for him. Tyler Hero, we know how confident he is, started getting it going. And I thought a pleasant surprise for Miami was Iguodala. And if you're Boston, you can't be letting Andre Iguodala get 15 points off the bench. I know he still has something left in the tank, but that's not his role at this point in his career. At this point in his career, he should just be an energy guy who's going to defend the other team's best player maybe. So I thought defensive struggles on one end. And in addition, Jason Tatum has kind of struggled in recent games, including this one, in the first half of games, and needs to show a little more consistency. But besides that, congrats to the Heat, and the Celtics put up one hell of a fight.
Yeah, Iggy's coming for his second Finals MVP, no doubt about that. I'm sure Nick is certainly in his corner for that one. Guys, as always, an absolute pleasure covering these Eastern Conference Finals to you guys. We'll be back for the NBA Finals. We might even have a little bit of a preview video here for you guys. Subscribe to all of the relevant platforms, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Thank you to Joe Money McCarr. Thank you to Nick Van Boylen.
Hitters on, baby.